be appearing and disappearing on our roads for many years to come. Why? Well, it's 80% recyclable, so it's destined to be around in one form or another for a very long time. The Astra first emerged 10 years ago, and it's currently the 5th best-selling car in Britain. The new models have been developed on the floor pan of the old Astra, but from there on up, everything's different. This is the basic version of the Astra, the 1.4-litre 60-brake horsepower Merit. And although it's the base car, it still gets a 5-speed gearbox. All petrol-driven Astras have fuel injection and catalytic converters as standard. And although it's again base trim, it's very nicely finished and quite comfy. Back in 1985, the second-generation Astra was voted European Car of the Year, so the new model has a tough act to follow. Now, while Vauxhall obviously have their sights firmly set on the Escort in the UK market, the rest of Europe, General Motors, see Volkswagen's new Golf as the obvious target car. To that end, they've been spending a great deal of money at the Ellesmere Port factory to improve the fits and finishes of the panels on the new Astra. And looking at the way the front wing meets the corner of the door, they failed. Now, Vauxhall place great emphasis on the styling of the new Astra. They say they've borrowed extensively from the experience of the Calibra, the best-looking car they've ever made. Unfortunately, that's not true of this car. Despite the use of airflow management techniques in the sculpturing of the body, the rear dam and this lip to the hatch, this car has no better CD factor than the original shape. And I think that was much cleaner and crisper. There's no interior release for the hatch, and that's a bit inconvenient. They've lowered the parcel shelf, so rear vision is much better. And if you're off on holiday in the Alps, you've got plenty of room for the skis. They've extended the roofline back to improve rear headroom, but they've reclined the rear seats, and that leads to a rather uncomfortable seating position. Now, I always become irrationally angry when I straighten up from loading something and smack my head on the catch of the tailgate. In the Astra, it's high enough to avoid that, though I'm sure at some stage I'm going to crease myself on this fearsome tooth edge. Of course, not everyone's as careless as me. Major safety innovations in the new Astra. All the doors get high-tensile steel beams built into the frames, and that protects the occupants in the event of a side impact. And the seat belts are equipped with tensioners. That means if you do have an accident, they pull you tight back into the seat. Features like those are common across the wide range of Astra variants. There's cars, vans and estates, and there's a saloon version coming next year. Of course, the levels of interior trim vary widely. This is the 2-litre CD version. Nice bit of Ellesmere Port craftsmanship in the wooden door cappings, and the fascias look completely different from the old model and much more attractive. Particularly like the radio comes in 2 parts, so it's not worth stealing it from the car. It won't fit any other model. The 16-valve GSI versions get electronic anti-wheel spin control. You get the distinct feeling this version could use it as well. Power steering on this top-of-the-line model makes a big difference over the base Astra, which is a bit heavy. The steering itself doesn't adjust, and on a luxury specification model, I rather miss that. The car comes with a high level of equipment, manually controlled sunroof, electrically powered windows, and electrically powered mirrors. Even has a control for heating them in cold weather. Now, I'm a sucker for high gearing in cars. I hate going down motorways with the engine whining away up front. In that respect, the Astra is superb. At 30 miles an hour, it's only turning over at 1,000 RPM. It means at 70 miles an hour on the motorway, it's idling at around 2,300. And that makes for very relaxed cruising. Of course, it means around town in the country lanes, you have to use the gears a lot more, but the gear change is so nice, you really don't mind. This model has a maximum speed of 121 miles an hour and hits 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds. The suspension's been tuned for better ride and handling, and it certainly feels even sharper than the high standards set by the old car. And another safety bonus, the bigger engine versions in the range all have a sophisticated 4-channel anti-lock braking system as standard. Obviously, with the fleet business alone, Vauxhall are going to do very well with the new Astra. But beyond that, it's a well-equipped, comfortable and safe motor car. Watch out, Escort. So to sum up the Astra CD, we liked those extra safety innovations, the high level of equipment and the way they've restyled the interior. The ride was still a bit harsh, it could get a bit stuffy in the back of the car, and we had questions about the build quality of our pre-production example.